So are Harry and Meghan going to sue South Park over the worldwide privacy tour parody episode that they had recently? If you've been paying attention, South Park released the most amazing and hysterical, but also scathing parody of the prince and his wife from Canada, the Canadian prince, as they're portraying it to be. Very much looks like Prince Harry and Meghan to me. And apparently they are not amused. And everybody is asking, are they going to sue or not? So what do you think? Do you think they're going to sue? They don't necessarily have the best sense of humor. So if this is my thought, Meghan and Harry in his book, for one thing, he was very adamant, and upset that Kate even it kind of rejected Meghan when she wanted to borrow some lip gloss. That was a big thing in the book, a big thing. And of course, the fight with William and, all these little things. So, that this can't be just brushed off to them. This is something that they have to be struggling with. And yeah, Jean, I'm sure they want the attention and they need that money. They need that paper. So are they amused? Are they going to see the humor in it? Everybody's cracking up over this. I will say it was very strong. There's some scenes I literally cannot stop laughing, but the irony for me is that they left. Well, the irony is all in this episode, to be honest with you. They left England and the whole thing was like, we need our privacy. And yet they blew up all of our phones, all of our screens, even the bookstores, even the magazines with the most water fire hosing. We were just like inundated with Meghan and Harry. And the irony is expressed in the South Park episode. So, and by the way, by probably two of the most genius satirists or, producers that we have right now. Like, these guys are brilliant. They're just brilliant in their simplicity. Like, everything is just brilliant. So here's what they're saying. So I'm going to kind of read through this. So apparently, now I will say, I want to preface this with we don't know. I don't know how anybody really knows if they're going to sue or not. But what I do know is when you're in the public eye, there are some laws and some rules that, okay, it's fair game. You put yourself out there. We're allowed, even myself doing videos, I'm allowed to make commentary on things that I see. I'm allowed to interpret it as I see it because it's out in the public already. So that's kind of how it is. Pretty sure they don't need the money. But we all know South Park has worser things, especially about, I've seen some extreme things where you're like, oh my gosh. So this was actually, you're right, Anna, sort of soft in a way, comparatively. So, okay. So this is what the New York Post says. And again, I have a little bit of a problem actually with the premise at all of Neil Sean went on, I don't know, I can't remember which outlet. I think it was Fox. He went on all of them. And he's like, they're all quoting him. Meghan and Harry are going to want to sue. Now, how would they have known that even? So I think a lot of this was just projection, and now they're having to not necessarily defend themselves, but everybody was like, oh, they're going to sue because they have been known to be litigious. But in all honesty, did they really know? Did Neil Sean really know? So this is from the New York Post. It says that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is apparently devastated and very upset and does not think that South Park is funny at all. Now, that is one thing, honestly. I think they're funny. I mean, they're crude, and sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they went there, and that's a little too much. But I don't know how you can't find some of the humor. So, they aired the worldwide privacy tour, which was clearly mocking Meghan and Harry and their decision to move to the U.S. to seek a private life. And apparently, they say that Meghan is not happy now. She's upset, they say, and overwhelmed. Of course, in these articles, there's always a source Like the source is never like who close to them is like putting this out there. But the Duchess is reportedly upset and overwhelmed by the episode and annoyed by South Park, but refuses to watch it all, a source told The Spectator. Now, I can see why Meghan would be overwhelmed, and it could be devastated and overwhelming in general, because they've had there was so much press because they wanted to release everything. The Queen died. They moved a little bit prior to that. They came over here. They released the Netflix series, which, as I said in the last live that I did, I think they would have been fine with that. I think I know for myself, I was like, okay, well, that's pretty good. But then with the book, and then, it just seems like there was so much. And now all the parodies are coming out because everybody's sort of tired of them. I think with the press rotation, like they need to chill out and kind of go behind the scenes a little bit and then take a breath, come back out. That's what I think. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. We have very mixed comments, opinions, and everything. And I think that's fine. I think there's actually a difference. I think in America, we tend to be more accepting of them, where in the UK, it's not the case. But I think based on, the polls and everything that they have taken, their favorability rating is like in the toilet. Like it's not good. So anyhow, this quote, their legal team are casting an eye over the episode to see what's wrong and what could be turned into something sinister. This appears to be their course of action rather than laughing it off, enjoying the moment, and showing the world that they get the joke, reports Neil Sean, adding that the creators of South Park have not heard anything yet. So here's the thing. I personally think Neil Sean is, I don't know. I'm not saying he's fabricating what he just said, but it just seemed like, how does he know that the legal team is doing that? I really don't understand how they would have known that. So, okay, well, let me see. Will be invited to the court. Parker and Stone will be invited to the coronation. I mean, do you think Will and the King have watched it? I did read something the last time that I was on, I mentioned it, that Will apparently was handed this by his friend. He said he didn't watch it, but there was a comment on it. And we will see. So it also says Markle's reps have not responded to the Post's request for comment about the ongoing controversy, but an insider close to the former actress denounced the new claims as rubbish. Okay, so then meanwhile, South Park didn't explicitly name the couple and began the episode with a disclaimer saying that all characters are fictional, even if they're based on real people. The characters of the episode who fans noted, it's clearly them. Everything, the likeness and the story, everything. Yes, they're from Canada rather than the UK, but still they wear the same clothes. They're described as the Canadian royalty. The wife character, clearly referring to Markle, is described as sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim. So sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim, to which she replies, yeah, that's totally me. And she has like this kind of Californian Valley Girl accent. In the long-running animated comedy, the fictional couple, they want their privacy while drawing attention to themselves. Like if they don't have the attention, they want it. And when they get the attention, they're like, why are you looking at us? Stop looking at us. How dare you look at us? And they get upset. And his book is called Wah. And it's funny. It's parody. So the host of the spoof talk show says, isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines, referring to Marcos, because that's kind of how he talks. And then, well, I think that some people might say that your Instagram-loving bee-wife, I'm not going to say it, actually doesn't want her privacy. And then the prince responds, how dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving bee-wife has always wanted her privacy. And then it's kind of funny. And then she's like, we just want to be like normal people. All this attention's so hard. So then they storm off and they decide to leave Canada and go to America. And then where do they end up? They end up in South Park. So will they sue? That's the big question. Are they going to sue or not? I don't think they should. Here again, they're all saying that Megan's upset. I would think, honestly, that the pressure of all of this, of course, you would start to get upset. And then maybe in their minds, they thought, okay, we will just continue to put our, content out there, and they basically made their brand victimhood and trashing the royal family. And I think most people get tired of that. It's like, I think we would want to root for them. Like, let's say they came out and they're like, we're going to talk about, what it would be like to be to be royals kind of moving to America, and what it's like, rather than trashing the family, what it's like for us to live in both places, redo with Frogmore, deal with the queen passing over there and raising these kids, like that type of thing. Let's lean into our causes. Harry's never lived on his own. There's so much that they could have done that would not have included totally bringing, like all of it out. But what we've learned from reading the book and everything that we've seen is that Harry he's a lot greener than we think. He hasn't been around as much. He took like one subway ride in his entire life. Parody's defense to libel. Okay, thank you. Hold on. Let me read this because Andrew might know. Parody is a defense to libel and slander claims with very narrow exceptions not present in this situation. So in other words, we are given the freedom to be able to, it's parody. So we're supposed to be able to do that. And it's been around, by the way. People have been doing parodies and caricatures, and it's free expression. Like, it's something that's been around forever. So, okay. So this is now what the news is. So what we know, like even this talk and speculation, I personally think Neil Sean, I don't know if he really had a source. I think it was like, the lawyer's already looking at the stuff. How, like, really are their lawyers going to tell media that it just seems far-fetched to me. I don't know if you guys agree to that, but I just feel like it's far-fetched that they would have even known that they were going to think of suing. And personally, from a PR standpoint, not that they've been obedient and like really paying attention to how they're presented, but from a PR standpoint, I think it's just best to kind of laugh it off, move on, brush it off. Let's go. All right. So I'm just going to read this. So apparently Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have no intentions of suing the creators of South Park over the recent episodes seemingly aimed at the controversial couple. Okay. So after all of that, everybody freaking out that they're going to sue. And by the way, the creators of South Park they have attorneys. They just signed a $1 billion deal with Paramount like a year and a half ago. Like, they are covered. Everything is going to be looked at, and they've got that covered. Trust me. So despite reports that the pair are pursuing legal action against the animated series, Harry and Meghan told the spokesperson for Harry and Meghan told people that it's all nonsense, it's baseless, boring, and the clarification comes from Comedy Central, released a new episode Wednesday, gosh, I need my coffee. Okay, anyhow, it was titled, sometimes I do this like ditzy blonde thing, sorry, that the plot follows the Prince and Princess of Canada as they move to a fictional Colorado town. We spoke about that, but anyhow, whatever, they say that they are not going to sue. Do you think that they should sue? Andrew made a good point. I think that that's absolutely true, that, it's libel, it's parodies are covered by that. I didn't read that one. So I don't know. I think there's also some more rumors, just to bring this out, that Meghan might be pregnant, but her and Harry had said on some kind of, I don't know, another show that, okay, there's no way we would ever have more than 2 kids. It's bad for the environment. Why would we have more than 2 kids? So, I mean, but people are saying she might be pregnant. She's 41. She's pregnant. There's all this speculation all the time. And I think we're just, hopefully it's going to soften down, because in May, there's the coronation. And that they will be invited to the coronation. And that's going to be interesting to watch, because we don't know. Now, there's a part of me, there's this part of me that's wondering, is all of this drama, even with them out in the open, just to keep the royal family in the spotlight at all? Like, because the coronation's coming, even though it's negative press, just like they said, is it because we're all supposed to be paying attention to them when most of us in America aren't paying attention to the royal family at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's very dramatic now. Now they're going to make up. They'll probably come to England. They'll get to spend some time in their cottage. They'll maybe make a slight appearance at the coronation, but they won't be on the balcony because, you know, they can't be on the balcony. But there's all of this news. There's like so much news leading up to the coronation. And that's what I'm thinking. Okay. So funny how the conversation stopped. Okay, hold on. When you hear that they're not going to sue for 2 days, the post of all the claims. Okay, wait. Funny how the conversations stop when you hear that they're not going to sue after 2 days, and the post of all the claims. She freaks out. I don't know. I'm not quite clear exactly what you're saying, because sometimes with these texts, I don't really know. But I am curious, Jean, to see, because they've been so stimulated. They've been so stimulated with so much of the media and themselves being in the media, that I am curious to see if they can just chill out and exist. And that's so ironic, because that's what they say they've wanted all along. That's what they say they've wanted all along, is just peace, quiet, be able to control the press, control what is being presented. And they thought coming to America and releasing Netflix and everything would make it better than it was over there. I will say that I do think that the British press is a little bit more harsh on them than probably we are. I think in America, we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But okay, so Jean, if she's pregnant, she will announce at the coronation. Ooh, girl. Or right before, I don't know. Ooh, you know that you're not supposed to be announcing your pregnancies at somebody's wedding, not to upstage them. So I'm not sure about that, but that could sound like something that they would do. Okay, guys. So I just wanted to announce, it looks like they're not going to sue. Please, this is Hot for History. Please subscribe. I'm doing a whole thing for Women's History Month, which should be fun. And that's next month, meaning like in a week from now. Please subscribe, share the videos. Let's continue to follow this. I'm going to start going live away from the Harry and Meghan stuff, away from the royal family stuff, into women's history. We'll be simulcasting it to like a kind of like a group as well. So I thank you for all of your support. Now Andrew's giving me some information. Wait, hold on. They recently, okay, hold on. Okay, so they recently released their Frogmore Cottage, and when, yeah. So here's the thing. So they get to lease this place for as long as they want, right? But of course, the king could say, no, you're not. But they put all this money into the house. I think they paid it back. And the queen actually assigned them to that. And they apparently, when they were there, they really did like that place. Of course, after going to the not cot, as they say, where they were like, oh, it was just not sufficient for us. It was too small. It's probably too small. But the future King William, did live there, even with George. So, but yeah, that's good to know. And yet Prince Andrew, that's a whole other subject. He may get some of his money cut back, or is the king going to continue to support him? Because he's got a big, I think it's called the Royal Lodge. It's a bad mamma jamma place. It's like huge. So, and yet the only money he makes is his, he's got, money, like they all have money, but, he lost some because of a settlement. So that's a big question too. All right, I'm going to go. I thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. We will talk to you soon. I just released a short on Sarah Winchester, and then also a short on the King's wine-fueled Aston Martin. That was today. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.